Inventors and entrepreneurs ask me all the time, Rich, how much does it cost to get a patent? From filing fees to attorney costs, today I'll break down the real price tag for patent protection and how to avoid paying too much. Let's break down the costs. First of all, these fees change all the time. And second, you pay different fees depending on the size of the entity. For a provisional patent application, the filing fee will be between about $75 and $300. For a non-provisional, also known as a utility patent application, expect to spend between about $400 and $800 on the government fees. For a design patent application, expect to spend between $250 and $500. Then there are maintenance fees, which are due 4, 8, and 12 years after the patent grant to keep the patent in effect. And those maintenance fees can range from about $400 to about $7,500 over time. The thing to recognize about filing fees is that they're relatively low, but it is just the beginning of the cost of getting a patent and maintaining a patent. The real money is spent in attorney's fees. Among the attorney's fees, typically the largest portion of it is in the patent application drafting, because the patent application drafting is where they'll put the most time and attention into your project, and so that's where the greatest expense is. To draft a utility patent application, expect to spend between $10,000 and $15,000, and the fee is going to vary depending on the complexity of the invention. In fact, software patent applications will cost even more than that. And the provisional patent application drafting fees you see from different attorneys will vary because it depends on the approach. The key to a good provisional is that it must be well written. It must be comprehensive. Then the provisional would be around $5,000 to $7,500. Design patents are quite a bit simpler to prepare. Typical cost for drafting a design patent application is between $3,000 and $5,000. When the patent office reviews your application and issues an office action, there's going to be attorney's fees for responding to those office actions. And that could range from about $1,000 to $5,000, and it depends on the complexity of the office action, what needs to be done to respond to it, and overall, the more complex your invention is, the more you might spend in attorney's fees, because again, that translates to more time for the patent attorneys explaining your invention, writing your patent application, drafting drawings, etc. Nearly every patent application requires drawings or illustrations to adequately explain the invention. So expect that there's a cost for drawings and illustrations. It often runs between about $500 and $1,500. One thing to do when you get a quote for a patent application from a law firm is make sure that the drawings or illustrations are included in that price. When that awesome day comes that your patent application is approved, there are issuance fees that need to be paid before the patent can be granted. Those issuance fees range from about $500 to $1,000. Sometimes when we're unable to convince an examiner to grant the patent application, we want to appeal it to the Patent Trials and Appeals Board to take a second look at your case. Now, this is rather unusual. I would say it's perhaps 1% to 5% of patent cases get appealed. A very small percentage of patent cases get appealed, but appeals might cost $10,000 to $20,000. But here's a total estimated range. Again, this is an amount that you might budget because it will cover about 90% of the situations for your project. To do a design patent on a simple product, you might spend $4,000 to $8,000 overall. One great thing about design patents is that there's no maintenance fees. So once the patent is granted, there's no further fees to pay. To get a utility patent for a simple invention, it's fair to budget about $15,000 to $20,000. To get a utility patent on a complex invention, you might spend $20,000 to $30,000 over the next couple of years. As I promised in the beginning, I want to tell you what I discovered about how you can avoid spending too much money. People often think that the way to avoid spending too much money is by finding a less expensive patent law firm. I mean, that's obviously true to an extent, but the biggest way that inventors waste money is not by paying too much for an individual service. It's by spending money on the wrong services. Without the right strategy in the beginning, it's easy to take the wrong approach and take steps that really aren't the best ones to get you protected and really aren't the best one to meet the goals of your business. So the key to saving money is to make sure that your attorney not only fully understands your invention, but also fully understands your business goals, what you're trying to accomplish. What can we do with your IP to move the needle on your business and to create a moat around what you're doing so that you can effectively prevent people from competing with you. But every inventor situation is different. That's why I offer a free strategy call to help you understand exactly what your patent journey would look like and where you can take the right steps and avoid unnecessary costs. If you're serious about protecting your idea, click the link in the description and book a call with me. What's your biggest fear when it comes to patent costs? Let me know in the comments and I'll personally reply with my thoughts. Be sure to check out the next video, where I deal with a really common misconception about patents.